insight from it. You're generating insight from the data, right? So which means that insight that is being generated from data helps you to keep on improving the business. Don't forget that, remember, you're actually monitoring every single, that's why I say you need to have key performance indicators. Oh, I want to check the profits, or I want to check the revenue, or I want to check this, I want to check that. Those key KPIs are really important for your business. You have those things put in place. Now, that is the essence of you generating insights from the data, just so that you can improve your agribusiness, which is very, very important. Let me just stop here to see if anyone has any question as regards what I've said so far. Does anyone has any question, please? Does anyone has any question, please? So if you have a question, please just signify just before I continue. If you have a question, please do signify before I continue. So if you don't have a question for me actually have a question for you. I have a question for you, right? So my question would be, and you could answer in person or sort of like drop your answer in the chat. That's fine. So my answer would be, what's like the most important KPI for your business? Let me just put it like that. What's like the most important KPI for you? You can just put the answer in the chat. Anyone? What's like the most important like KPI? Please, I need a response, please. I need a response, please. Oh. Okay, so let me just call someone to sort of like answer this. Right. Arthur, are you there, please? No, I mean KPI. I didn't say data, like key performance indicators. Is it going to be profit? Is it going to be revenue? That's what I mean. Arthur, are you there, please? Okay. So like I want it to be interactive. I don't want to look like I'm the only one doing the talking. I'm not hearing from revenue. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's actually true. Right. So you want to just ensure that you are keeping track of these things, right? And like I said, I'm gonna show us how we can create a report, right, using the data and happens to be. So now, just before I come, let me just give like a scenario, right? There was this I don't know, like a business, right? So they just realized that I worked on a project, right? So they realized that they were not making money, right? So the business, so here's the thing, they have like a subsidiary where what they do is just like a restaurant. Let me just call it like a restaurant, right? So in the morning, they make swallow. Then in the evening, they make rice. Now they realize that it's like when you go into the restaurant, you can tell that yes, this is like everything is top notch, right? From the tables and all that. But the question is, what's the problem? Because you can't have a restaurant that is like you actually spend like a lot of money on this, and yet the profit that's coming in every month is nothing to write on. So they wanted to find out, why is this happening? Is there a way we could what can we do to just ensure that yes, there's an increase like in the profit that is generated every month? And there was the problem. Remember I said in the morning, what they did was to the what was it sold in the morning was swallow, right? That's like swallow, like either amala, I don't know what's called in Ghana, right? Then in the evening it was right. So here's the thing. Most of the people that stayed there, right, they are not students. So it's like a residential area, right? And these are people that prefer eating. So imagine when they return from work and they go to the restaurant, just realize that, oh, there's no swallow. Oh, they actually sell swallow in the morning. Now look at something. Yes. Net profit margins. Yes, that's what's very important. Now, so the question is, okay, how about we swapped? So we had to, so what we did was to get data. We had to get data and try to see, okay, fine. This is a residential area, right? What kind of food would they prefer, right? We just, after getting our data from like different sources, we just came to realization that first off, it's a residential area, which means that you even doing that like English food at night is a bad idea. Now, how about we swap? So instead of doing rice at night, why not just do rice in the morning, then prepare swallow in the evening? And they just realized that there was an increase in profits. Now, the mistake they made from the start was assuming that, oh, this area, everybody likes taking English. Now, first off, they didn't take into consideration the location. Now, imagine they are not using data to solve that problem. Perhaps maybe they will just feel like, okay, since you're not getting money from this place, why not just shut the place down? But we're able to, as a result of getting, we're able to get insight from data. Oh, this is a residential area. So most of the people here prefer eating swallow, right? So we're able to get insight from data, and that actually helped improve the business. Now let's look at it in this sense, right? Data is very, very important, right? Very, very important. So you have the data, you're able to get insights. It helps you to take decisions, like it helps you take better decisions. So you can actually take good decisions that actually just help influence your business positively. Okay. Now the next thing is I made a mention of dashboard, right? Now I'm going to fully explain dashboard when I take us through how to just sort of like create a dashboard of the data I'm going to use for today's session, right? Like I said, so when you say dashboard, you see like charts, right? You have like maybe like a bar chart, for example. You have like a bar chart just showing that, oh, okay, let me just give a very basic example. Now just imagine in a class that actually has like 50 students, and you want to sort of like know, okay, what are the number of male students you have, what are the number of female students you have in this class, right? Let's say you have, now you can actually represent that in the bar chart. Looking at the bar chart, you can tell, okay, fine, okay, you have 13. So based on this, you realize that the bar for the male is longer than the bar for the females. So that actually tells us that, oh, you have more of males than this. I'm just giving a very basic example, right? Now, so see dashboards as you having different charts, and you can interact with this chart. Now, like I said, I'm going to show us how we can do that, just so we can just see how to sort of like interact with it, right? Now, how do you utilize like real-time data to sort of like monitor every business performance? Like I said, I made a mention of key performance indicators, right? Such as yield per hectare. When I mean yield, I mean, like number of crops, right? Number of crops that is being produced, right? The soil moisture and the likes, right? And you also have real-time monitoring for quick decision. Why do you want to monitor in real time? Right? You want to monitor just so that you can be able to take decisions, right? So that's why you have to monitor. Oh, okay, realize that, oh, the profit on this month is low. What is happening? What can we do? That's why you have to monitor in real time, right? Which is very important. You know, like I said, you can be able to see all these things by either using like a dashboard or sort of like creating like a report or something. Now the question is, with dashboards for visualization, there's something called Microsoft Power BI, right? Like it's a tool that actually allows you to sort of like create visuals, create dashboards, create reports of your data, right? You also have Google Data Studio. Like I said, I'm just going to show us how you get to use these tools, right? And it is really important because you have your data, you are able to monitor what is going on. So if you realize that, oh, for this month, you realize that, oh, like profit that came in was sort of like, you can easily tell, okay, what is happening? Is there something you are doing wrong? What are the strategies for us to better counter this, right? That's the oasis of you getting insight from data, just so that you can be able to take better decisions. This is just like an example, right? So just sort of like, so this is how it sort of like looks like. That's how to just sort of like attach you picture itself. Just having to just sort of like utilize with time that to monitor the performance, right? Checking out all the necessary KPIs you want to check out, right? Like I said, I'm still going to show us how we can create a report. But this time, I'm going to create a report using AI, like auto reports, right? So you're having to do the manual process. It's a way for you to like do it. Like I said, I'm going to better talk about this when I'm doing that, just so we can better understand what I'm trying to say. Right, just so we can better understand what I'm trying to say. So, like I said, data is very, very important. I can't import sort of like emphasize like the importance of data. Data is really, really important. Very, please, can we just mute, please? Can we mute this? So data is very, very important. It is very, very important, right? If you have data, you can actually take effective decisions, right? It's very, very important. So you've been able to sort of like automate like the process of collecting data, right? You automate that process. You're able to generate insight from the data by sort of like creating dashboards or creating reports, just so you can just keep track of what is going on. Oh, I realized that, for this first quarter, we realized that the profit is low compared to the second quarter. What happened, right? Is it that we actually did something wrong? Just so you can better just think of strategies to see that, okay, you know what, let's see how we can take decisions just so that this does not happen for the next quarter. So, like I said, now I talked about machine learning, and I said when you say machine learning, it's still AI. The question is, you've talked about machine learning. So now, how then do we make the machine learning for predictive analysis in agri-tech operations? Now, the first thing you need to do is to understand what exactly is machine learning. And that's why I just said, ML, when you say machine learning, from the word machine learning, you can tell that the machine is learning from something. That's why it's called machine. So either you want to see machine learning or you want to see artificial intelligence. So when you hear someone tell you artificial intelligence, it's still referring to machine learning because you are trying to make the machine intelligent. That's why it's artificial intelligence, right? So, like I said, you having a system that can help you predict, the number of crops that will be produced for this particular year will be like maybe 3,000 or will be like 4,000, right? You have a system that can actually help you do this. And now the reason why this system can do this is because this system has been trained, has learned from data. Now it can now take decisions. So if you have like user-friendly ML tools that you can actually use to sort of like create a system that can be used to help you take decisions. And now these decisions are really important because imagine you're having a system that you don't have to do the thinking. You have a system that helps you take that decisions. And these decisions are really critical to your business. So which means that instead of you having to think about, based on what we have, I'm thinking this is the number of products I'll produce for this year, or this is like the profit that will come in for this particular quarter. That process has been automated. So you can now focus on that things, right? And this is actually possible because of AI, or you can say because of ML. And now, don't forget that the reason why the machine can learn is because there's data. So it all boils down to what's data, right? So the question is, how do we create a sustainable data strategy for a long-term agri-business growth? So how can we create like a very good data strategy? Not for short term, for a long-term agribusiness growth. Now, the first thing you want to do is to implement a comprehensive data strategy. Now, like I said, you have to understand your business. Okay, my business, what type of data do I need? Oh, these are the type of data I need. Now, the question is, okay, So how can I get this data? Okay, maybe by using this device or by coming up with a strategy. Now, the next question you want to ask yourself is, what are the key performance indicators I want to look out for? What are those key things I want to look out for, right, in my data? You highlight those things out. Okay, so once I get the insight from the data, what decision can I actually take based on this insight I've gotten? You can see you've actually aligned like a map itself. So you know, okay, first thing I'm going to do is think about, okay, what type of data do I need? What's I've highlighted that? The next thing will be, okay, so how do I now collect data? You've highlighted that, okay. So what are those key performance indicators I want to look out for? You've actually highlighted that, right? The next thing will be, okay, based on the insight I've gotten, what decision can I take based on this insight? Now, so implementing a very comprehensive data strategy is very, very important, right? It just goes to show that from data collection process to like data analysis process, you've mapped that out. So it's easy. You already have the strategy plan that, okay, I'll do this, then analyze this just so I can take this decision, right? And you are able to do this because you are leveraging real-time data analytics, right? Because you're analyzing the data in real time. And now this, because of this, you can be able to take data-driven decision making. Now, why is it called data? It's called data-driven for a reason, right? You're not just making decisions, you're making decisions off the insights you got from the data. That's why it's data-driven decision making. So here's the thing. You realize that you already have a system, right, that actually learns from data, can actually help you make predictions. So I know, okay, whatever, you know, as humans, we can actually make a mistake. Oh, I'm thinking about something, you make a decision, and you realize at the end of the day, that decision like is actually a wrong decision. But imagine you have a system that has been trained, that has learned from series of data. Now it's helping you take that decision. So instead of you having to focus on that, you can now focus on other things. So that's what I mean by promoting data-driven decision making. The next thing would be, I mentioned KPIs. Like the question is, how do I now formulate key performance indicators to sort of like measure Agritech success? How can I do this? How? That's why I said understanding your business is very, very important. Now, when you get to understand your business, you know the type of data you need. Now, once you know the type of data you need, like I said, next will be, okay, how do I now collect this data? What are those key performance indicators I want to look at? So now, how do you formulate a key performance indicators? Sort of like measure architects of process. Now, understanding essential KPIs such as yield. So when I mean yield, I mean like number of products produced per hectare of land, or how can I effectively reduce costs? Just so that I can be able to like measure success, right? Another thing would be, you know, once you've identified those key performance indicators, now the next thing you want to do is to utilize dashboards. Remember I said dashboards, just see dashboards as a collection of visuals like charts where you can sort of like interact with. Now you can actually do that because number one, you already have the data. Yes, you've collected the data. Yes. Now you've listed out those key performance indicators you want to look out for in data, right? Now, for you to be able to monitor them, that's where this dashboard comes in. Because now you now utilize that dashboard just so you can get what insightful, you can get insight from data so that you can be able to take decisions, right? Remember I said see dashboard as a collection of visuals, right? That you can interact with. And now once you are able to monitor this, now the good thing is you are tracking your business performance in real time. And now, as you're tracking that, you can now come up with, oh, okay, I noticed that for this particular month, what actually, like we realized that, oh, like for this month dropped. So what type of strategies can we come up with to see how we can improve this, right? And the last thing I want to say is set measurable goals. Like I said, ensure that these goals are tied to the KPI. That's why I said understanding your business is very important. Once you understand your business, I know the type of data I need. I know the key performance indicators to look out for. Right. So this will ensure that, yes, you could sort of like monitor progress and make necessary adjustments to achieve success. So data is very important, yes. But the thing is, you need to know the type of data you want. They always say something, garbage in, garbage out. Because if you give the system the wrong thing, it's going to give you the wrong output. So knowing the type of data you want is very, very important. Once I know the type of data I want, right? And then, okay, fine. These are the key performance indicators I want to look at, right? I'm able to track that with use of dashboard. Now I can now think of strategies. Oh, this is the strategy I want to use for this. What are the strategies I intend to use? I already have my goal set. Okay, this is the profit we. So once the system can make a decision, okay, let's say for example now, end of the year you should expect 1 million CDs. I'm just giving an example. That's already made a decision for you. And the question is, how do I now achieve that? This is where you as a business person, you now start thinking of strategies to see how we can sort of like get to that goal you've set. So now developing a data-driven culture enhance like agribusiness resident adaptability. Now remember, you're not just taking decisions of your own intuition, right? You're taking decisions of the insights you've gotten, right? Now, you're taking decision of the insights, right? So if you have in mind that any decision I want to take has to be data-driven, right? Having that culture is really, really important, right? So that will mean that you sort of like encourage your team members like to embrace data analytics to see, okay, fine, how can we get insight from this data? Let them know that, see, data is really important. For every decision we want to take, right, we need to be able to generate insight and see how we can get that decision from the insight we've gotten. And another thing too is, because you also want them to, now you already know that, okay, fine, data is really important, right? They know that, okay, fine, we need to get insight from data just so that we can take decisions. The next one would be, after they've known that, they have to learn, okay, how can I generate insight of this data? This is where training and development comes in. And they have to be trained in data skills, right? Then I know that, okay, fine. Once I want to analyze this data, if I want to clean it, I can either use Excel to clean that. Then once I've cleaned that, I can take that to Power BI and see how I can create charts, right? Create dashboards and better get decisions, right? Okay, based on this is strategy we can come up with. Based on that, these are strategies we can sort of like come up with, right? You're able to do all of these things because of data, right? Because you've actually gotten meaningful insights from the data. So data is very, very important. And like I said, because you have data, that is where data analytics come in. Because you're able to analyze data you have just so you can sort of like generate insights from your data. So we mentioned data analytics. Now, I made a mention of Microsoft Excel, I made a mention of Power BI, I made a mention of Google Data Studio, right? Now, Microsoft Excel, when you see Microsoft Excel, you can be able to clean your data from it. You can create charts in Excel, right? You can use Microsoft Excel to sort of like clean your data. Now, when you want to now create your dashboard, after cleaning your data, you now move it to Power BI. So Microsoft Excel is a Microsoft product. Power BI is also a Microsoft product. So you clean your data using Excel, then move it to Power BI. Now, Power BI, like I said, Power BI allows you to create charts. It allows you to create dashboards. Like I said, let me just, if I said what I said, see dashboard as a collection of visuals that allow you to sort of like interact with it. Or just so that you can see what is going on. So you are keeping track of what is going on in your business in real time. Oh, I know, okay, these are the values. This is the profit we made for this month. This is the profit we made last year. Okay, realize that, okay, the first quarter, we had more profit than the second quarter. Was there any issue? What can we do to solve, like, counter this, right? So that will now prompt you to solve, like, okay, come on to strategies to counter that. That is possibly because you're keeping track of your data in real time. And you're able to do that as a result of what data analytics. You've gotten the data and you can analyze the data. See something. The data is useless if you do not get insight from it. You get insight from data because data is important, right? Get insight from data just so you can what? Take decisions. So how do you now create a sustainable data strategy for this? You can have like farmer engagement, market access, water usage, cost reduction, and yield improvements. These are the stuff that actually enables. Like I said, you now know, okay, fine, I can tell the number of crops that will produce. I can also keep track of the profit that is coming in. So like it's exposes you to like a lot of things, right? You get different insights from your data itself. And like I said, this is possible because of data analytics. So you have the data, yes. You will now analyze the data to sort of like get insight from it. Let me stop here to see if anyone has any question. So does anyone have any question, please? If you don't have question, I also have question. If you don't have question, I have question, please. So I need questions, please. Does anyone has any question? You do just signify just so that I can answer your question. Does anyone has any question, please? Does anyone has any question, please? Okay, so let me ask my question. I'm going to call on someone. Priscilla, are you there, please? Priscilla, are you there, please? Okay. Amos, are you there, please? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes. You can go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. How to sustain data is very good for every business person.
Yes.
But a situation whereby the person is an illiterate, okay. How do the person go by taking data?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that. So in the case where the person is an illiterate, that is where we have training, right? So the person has to learn. So if you do not, like I said, you don't know how to use this, right? So that is where training comes into play. So I made a mention of training and development, right? So the person has to learn just so that the person can be able to get insight from the data itself. But I don't know how to analyze data, right? So the next thing for me to do is either I learn, right, or you employ a data professional in your business that can actually help resolve that. I don't know if this answers your question. So either training or employing a data professional. But it's always good. It's always good that you just train, right? Everybody also has to learn. Okay, just so I can know what is going on, right? And you can also keep track of your business and sort of like monitor it in real time. So I don't know if this answers your question, please.
Very well, very well. Thank you for that.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. So please, I need questions. I need questions. I need questions. I need questions, please. I need questions. Does anyone has any question for me? Okay, let me ask my question. Now, let me ask my question. Now, I really mentioned when I was sort of like explaining data analytics, right? So what's like the first thing you should do?
Hello, I got a question, please.
Okay, yes, please,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
sorry.
Okay.
I just want to find out about in terms of your business, the kind of business data analysis tool that's gonna be the best for you.
Okay.
Let's say I'm running commercial maize production business,
Okay.
and I want to take data on these. Sorry, I've
Okay.
already taken the data on these. I just
Okay.
want to analyze my data and see how I'm progressing or retrogressing. So how, like, I mean, which kind of tool am I going to use for that? Because I have no idea about data collection.
Oh, okay. So let me just answer that. Right. Thank you very much for that question. So you made a mention of that you said like you have no idea about data collection, right? So let me just say this. There are different ways to collect data. There are different ways to collect data, right? Um, let's assume that you want to just keep track of whatever is going on in your business, right? It depends on what type of business it is, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask that whatever business is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yes. If you can just
That's
shed more light just so that I can be able to answer your question.
oh, okay. Maize. And I buy maize and I store it and I sell it to people.
Okay. So is there like a record of this transaction between yourself and the customers?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you actually have that saved, you can actually save that in an Excel file. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So it depends if your customers are so not everybody is a technical person, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so here's the thing, right? You could actually have someone who is on ground. So when the customer actually sort of like come in, right, the person is in charge of imputing the customer's data. You get what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah.
once the data is imputed into the system, right? You want to sort of like just create, let's say you want to create a report of that. Now you want to, and you know, sometimes because you have someone who is imputing data into the system, so person also have to be wary that there has to be no mistakes, right? This is what I mean. So the customer should be able to like give every necessary information you actually need that can be saved in
Okay.
in the system. Now, so once that
Okay.
is saved, yeah. So once that is saved, right? You want to just ensure that everything is intact, right? By just cleaning. So when I
Okay.
mean cleaning, sometimes you just realize that there's actually a mistake. Maybe perhaps the customer perhaps forgot to say something, or like the person who's in charge of collecting data from the customer, right? Imputing into the system, rather. Data entry operator. Let me just use that word. Person actually forgot
Okay.
to collect particular information from the customer. And you know that is more or less like that particular stuff is missing, right? So you want to see,
Yeah.
okay, fine, what can I do to sort of like clean this to ensure that this does not affect the results? Now, so once you've done that, you can clean your data using Excel, right? Like I'm going to show us how we can just do something with Excel. So once you do that using Excel, right, you clean your data. Now, visuals are really important, right? Because you just reading, you know, you imagine you seeing pictures. You can see pictures. So even from the picture, you can easily tell that, oh, okay, this is what is going on, this is what is going on, right? So you can use Power BI to generate report of your data. And that will
What did
be
you say? Power what?
Power BI, Microsoft
Okay.
Power
Okay.
BI.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm also going to show us how we can create reports. So in Power BI, right? Now, for
Yeah.
people who do not necessarily know how to create dashboards and all, you can use AI to create a report of your data. Like I said, I'm going to show us how we can do that, right? So you use
Okay.
Power BI to just create a report of your data. So that report will be like just it as pictures where you can just see all the necessary information you want to get. I can now take that down. So I don't know if this answers your question.
It's all right. Yeah. I think what I'm looking for, I've gotten it. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'm gonna mute myself now.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So I need more questions, please. I need more questions, please. I need more questions, please. Okay. Let me just call on someone to solve like just. It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question, right? Samuel Ato, are you there, please? Samuel Ato, are you there, please? Samuel Ato, are you there, please? Hello, Samuel Ato, are you there, please? Okay. So let me just see the question. So anybody can just sort of like answer that in the chat, right? So I made a mention that I said machine learning is the same thing as what exactly? So I said when you say machine learning, what is machine learning? I said machine learning means something is learning from something, right? So what is it learning from? You can just put the answer in the chat. So what do you think the machine is learning from? I made a mention of that. So what do you say the machine is learning from? I need someone to answer that. So I said the reason why you see machine learning is because machine learns from something, right? So what is that thing the machine learns from?
I think you mentioned of information. You mentioned you data, okay. you program the data, you just feed the machine, you just feed with the data. So it's gonna based on those data to produce answers or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Yes, that's true. So yes, data. So you actually learn from data itself, right? So data is the tool, right? So data is what the machine learns from, right? So when you say data, so data, what I mean is like you have previous informations about a particular thing. Now, it has learned about that so that anytime it encounters a question as regards that, it has learned already. So you can easily tell that, oh, okay, no, for a case like this is what you should do, right? So machine learns from data. So that's why data is really, really important. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. All right. Okay. Yeah. So any question? Does anyone have any question? Okay, so if you feel like you actually understood everything that was said during the session, can I just get a reaction, please? Either you drop a reaction or you can just put one in the chat. If you understood what was said in the session, you can put one in the chat or you can just drop a reaction. One in the chat or just drop a reaction. I just need to be sure that yes, everyone actually got what was said. So just 3 persons. I need more. Okay. Okay. So I said I was going to just show us how we can how do I put it? How we can just get inside from the data. So now here's the thing, right? So this data I'm going to let me just share my screen. I'm just going to quickly just show something. Right. Let me just show the data itself. Let me stop sharing and share my screen. Okay. So let me just show us the way the Excel file is going to look like, just so that you can have an idea of how it's going to look like. Just a minute, please. Okay. So please confirm if you can, just confirm if you can see my screen clearly. Confirm if you can see my screen clearly. Just confirm if you can see my screen clearly. Confirm
I can see this.
It's clear.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That's right. Yeah. So let me show something. So just before I move to the final, I want us to have a, let me go back to this. So this is Excel, right? This is Microsoft Excel. I just want to quickly show something. Now, when it comes to data, see, so I want to get data. I'm going to explain. The data is in CSV. So when I mean CSV, let me give a very basic example. For example, now I'm trying to write about myself. Let's just say I was told to write my name, my age, and my country. And I write Victor. Let me just write that in so just so you can go and fence. I write Victor, right? I write my age, just saying. Then I write my country. Look at something. Now, what do you notice? You notice that these values are separated by comma. There's something called comma separated value, right? Comma separated values. So we call that CSV. So anytime you have values like this that are separated by this comma, we call them comma separated values. So once you come to data, let me just do that. Get data, you select the file. Let me just show us how it's going to look like. Just so that we can, and so once I open the data, I'm going to ask us questions. Just feel free to just tell me what's in your mind. Oh, this is what I feel it should be. This is what I think it should be. So data is saved here. I think just a minute. Yeah. So this. So I just want to show something. Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me share again. Let me share again. Okay. 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 I believe can you see my screen now? Can you see this window that is open? Can you just drop a reaction if you can see it?
Yes, please. It's clear, please.
Oh, okay. So now this data is for a company, right? So like in different regions, right? Ashanti, Volta, then Greater Accra. So look at this, right? Let me just click on transform just so I can see what I want to. I just want to show something. Let it just load. I want to show something. Right? So look at this. Let me just minimize this. Let me just show something. Now, so this is just like a breakdown of everything that's in the column. Like the dates, the harvest dates, right? You have, so this farm ID is just a unique identifier, just like the way, yeah, maybe for example, now you have like 30 persons. I say, okay, you are number 1, you are number 2, you are number 3. So if I say number 1, you come outside, just like an ID, that's what we call it, a unique ID. So these are like the different regions. You have the crop and the stuff itself. So this is how you can see fertilizer, the kg, the labor hours, and the likes. Now, here's what I want to show us. Let me go back to this. Just a minute. Let me just go back. Let me go back to this. So I want to show us the data, the final data, just so we can see it ourselves, right? I'll do that again. Come to get data, then file, CSV, then you come to this. So I just want to show something. That's why I have to just stick it here, right? I want to just show something. Just a minute, please. So look at this. Let me transform it just so you can see clearly. Okay. Okay, so look at something. Harvest dates, harvest time. Now I have a question. Right, I have a question. Now, when recording this, they also kept track of the time. Not just the dates, they also kept track of the time. Now, this is my question. Now, from this time, do you think we can dictate morning, afternoon, and evening? So if you feel yes, just put one in the chat. If you feel no, put 0. Since we already have the time, right? Can we tell from this that, okay, can we get okay, this actually happened in the morning, this was taken in the morning, this was taken in the afternoon, this was taken in the evening. You can just guess, right? If you feel yes, just put 1 in the chat. If you feel no, put 0 in the chat. From the time, you think you can be able to dictate, oh, whether this stuff was recorded in the morning, or it was recorded in the afternoon, or it was recorded in the evening? Yes, right? Oh, now look at something. When you see 6 a.m., you can easily tell that 6 a.m. is in the morning, right? What about this p.m.? You can see this is in the evening, right? So from this time, right, let me show you something. Let me go there. You can see they were able to extract time the morning, evening, afternoon. Now you might wonder why. Like, why is this important? Why is this important? Right? So you already have the time. Now the question is, it could extract another information from it that tells you the day, the time of the day. Like, is it in the morning? Was this record done in the morning, or was it done in the afternoon, or was it done in the night? Right? Just so that you can actually have that information saved, so that anytime you want to use it, you can now make reference to this. Oh, we actually harvested this in the morning. Oh, this was harvested in the evening. That kind of information, right? Just so that you can actually have access to that. So, okay. So now look at something. Let me just quickly explain something, just so I can take us to the dashboard itself, right? So now looking at this, right, you can see it looks, Victor, it looks somehow like I don't think I can really understand this, right? Like, what is all this? I can just say numbers, right? Now, that's why you have to just create a report. Just so when you see picture, you can easily tell that, yes, this is what we can do with the data itself. I just wanted to just show something. And let me close this, okay? And open Power BI. Let me close this and open Power BI. So I'm going to show us the way Power BI just looks like, just so I can just have an idea of how Power BI is, right? So let me just do that. Okay. Let me close this. Yes, don't see. So let's also close this, right? Okay, let me see. Okay. So, okay, so let me just minimize this. Minimize this. So I want to just show you all how the Power BI looks like, right? Okay. Just so that I can just have a sense of how the tool looks like. Just a minute. It's going to load shortly. Just a minute. It's going to load shortly. Just a minute. It's going to load shortly. Okay. So while it's loading, right? Okay. Good. Okay. So let's click blank reports. Now look at the way it looks like. So you can see different charts here, right? Okay. So what I just want to show us is quite simple, right? It's just very straightforward. Okay. Very, very straightforward. So this is how the Power BI, this is how it looks like. You can see this is how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. You can see this, see the environment there. Okay. So now let me just show us. Okay. So that data, I want to show us what we got from the data, just so you can see. Take this. Okay. I might need to just stop sharing because I want to set my password just so that I can see what it's going to look like now. Just a minute. Let me start sharing just so I can see my screen. Okay. So now, what I just showed you guys, that's the desktop version, right? This is the online version. Let me just use that one, right? So look at something, right? I'm going to come to here, new reports. I already have the data published already. Let me show some. See, semantic model. I want to show something just so you can see. Click this. Let me go back. Just so I can also see what I did. Right. Let me just go back. So I came here, new reports. Remember I said we want to create a report of the data, right? Came to new reports, right? Semantic model. Then I click this. You can see this. See, auto create report. This is an AI feature, like artificial intelligence. Just all you need to do, just pass in data, it's generate report for you. And let's click on this. So we select data, yes. So view reports now. Look at and comment. So let's just adjust it, right? Let's just adjust just so I can see, and I'm saying profit and return. Okay. Now look at something. Let me change this. Let's check the profits for each of these regions, right? You have Ashanti, we have Volta, we have Northern, we have Central, we have Eastern, we have Greater Accra, right? Let's just check this. So we want to check profits, right? Profits, see, profits. Ghana cities. Click on it. Can you see it? Come on. Look at this. We'll still change. Look at this. So from this, what does this mean? Now, this means that for Central region in Ghana, the profit was 20 million cedis. Can you see that? So from this, we can tell that what the region where the profit is less is what's the Eastern region. Can you see this? 18 million. Look at this. Can you see? So that will mean that what is going on? Why are we not making? We are making enough profits, yes. So the thing is, are there better ways to sort of like increase the profit you're actually making from this particular region? You can see the Eastern region, the company makes 18 million cedis. Can you see this? Look at this. Okay. Let me just stop here to see if anyone has any questions regards this, just before I continue. Does anyone has any questions, please? Does anyone has any questions? Okay, so looking at this diagram, do you think it's clear? Like you can tell that, okay, I know that, the region that has the highest profit is Central region, right? The region with the lowest is what? The Eastern region. Can you see this? Now, so here's my question. Which will you prefer? Will you prefer this? Looking at it, it's a picture compared to just the numbers. So which will you prefer? If you prefer this, you put 1 in the chat. If you prefer the Excel, like the numbers, put 0 in the chat. The way it is now, do you think you can easily tell what is going on? If yes, put 1 in the chat. I mean, like looking at this particular stuff itself. Yes, right? Okay, look at this. Now let's say we want to know the profit. Can you see? So you can see in the year, we notice that June, the profit was what? 18.9 million cedis, which means that the company made more profit when? They made more profits in June. Can you see this? Can you see this? See, in June. Which means that, look at this. This was quite low because as of November, they made 10 million cedis. So which means that they made their money mid of the year, right? That's June. June was where they made most of their profits. Can you see this? Now you can still customize. I just wanted to just show us something. So let's say we want to look at something. Let me click on Central, right? See, let me click on this. Can you see this? For central region, I want someone to answer the question. For central region, right? For central region, right? So, which month did they make their most profits? For central region, I want someone to answer this. You can either drop the answer in the chat or you just raise your hands to answer this. For the central region, you can see when I clicked on the central region, this is the data for the central region. So, which month was the most profit made? Which month was the most profit made? Around June. Yes, June. What about the month that has the least profits? The month that has the least profits. So, can you see this? November. Thank you very much for that. Now let's see. Let's try to analyze this. See something. Let's try to analyze this. See, analyze. Explain the decrease. Let's see. Can you see that? Can you see this is AI? Look at now. It's not really think it has already tell you that. See, plantain was so the crop where they actually add. See, the majority of the decrease was plantain. So which means what happened? Why is it that plantain they actually made like less profits from the sale of plantain? Is it that we are doing something wrong, or there's something we need to do right? Look at this. See, plantain. Okay, look at the breakdown. Look at this. See this. As of July, look at this. See, plantain. See, plantain, maize. It has even broken them down already. You can see you have plantain, you have maize, you have cocoa, you have tomatoes, you have cassava. You can see it even explains what is happening. Just like, oh, so now you don't even have to think, why is this thing happening? The next thing is, oh, what can we do now? Like, what can we do to just to ensure that there's an increase in profit? Now, for you, now you're not thinking about why is this thing happening. You already know why it happened. So the next thing you're going to think of now is, how can I find the solution? Now, this is where your business mindset will come into play. Can you see it has made everything easy for you? You don't have to now start thinking of, oh, why is it that there was a decrease this month? It has already broken it down for you. You can see this. So now you will now think of, okay, what can I do to ensure that we make profits for this particular crop itself? Is it that we are doing something wrong? Do we need more people? Do we need to buy maybe more fertilizers or something? Right? You will not think of, okay, what kind of strategy do I need to take to ensure that we solve this? This is where your business mindset now comes into play. Now for this one, you can also customize it. You can customize it. So you can. So let's check something else. Okay, let's check let's just try to check for this one, and let's try to customize it, right? So instead of months, let's change to profits, right? Or revenue. Let's change to revenue, right? So just trying to just. So let's change that to revenue. Let's move this. Okay, let's move this. So let's move this. Just click on this and remove field. So now let's change this to the harvest time. Let's change this. Let's still make this here. Okay. Yeah. So let's still make this harvest it. So let's do here. Now you can also add more quarter. You can see. So looking at the breakdown, can you see first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? You know, the first quarter will mean the first 3 months of the year. Second quarter, the next 3 months. Can you see this? Can you see this? So now you can now track this in real time. Let's check for Eastern region. You can see for Eastern region, you can see. So which means that June is a very good month. Let's check for other regions. Voter, okay, voters, let's see. This one, look at this, June. Let's check for northern region. Which means that June, majority of the regions, right, the companies in those regions, most of the profits came from the month of June. Which means that the month of June, perhaps they could have more, they should ensure that they have more products so that they can make more sales. Because if all of the regions realize that, you can see, let's just even analyze this. Like I say, you can actually analyze this. You can see this, analyze. Can you see this is possible because of data? Can you see it? It's possible because you have the data. You can now get inside from data. Can you see this? So you can see this. Majority of the increase, you can see tomato. Can you see this? So you are able to get insight from the data itself. So is this not interesting? Is it not interesting? Is this not interesting? Okay. So is this not interesting? Okay. So if it is interesting, just put one in the chat. If it is interesting, put one in the chat. If it's interesting, put one in the chat. If it's interesting, please put one in the chat. Very interesting. I need more response. 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 Do you think it's interesting? I need more response, more response, more response, more response, more response. See this. So you don't have to now start thinking of, oh, how do I know the region where we make most of our profit from? You know, before you will now start calculating. Oh yeah, please bring her, let's do our calculation. For this region, we made certain amounts. You can see it has saved you time, right? It has saved you that energy. You cannot focus that on something else. Why? Because you've been able to get the insight from the data itself, right? So, okay. So, yes. So, any question, please, before I hand over to Selim? Does anyone has any question for me before I hand over to Selim, please? Does anyone has any question, please? Does anyone has any question, please? Okay. So if you really enjoyed the session, you can just put one in the chat. If you enjoyed the session, just put one in the chat. If you really enjoyed the session, please put one in the chat. Really enjoyed the session, please put one in the chat. Really enjoyed the session, please put one in the chat. Please put one in the chat. Put one in the chat. More response, more response, more response, please. Really enjoyed the session, please put one in the chat. Okay, so if there are no questions, then I think this is where I'm going to stop. So thank you very much. Selim, are you there, please?
Yes, I'm here, Victor.
Okay. So
yes, a very big thank you to you, Victor, and then to the KIC team. What we'll do after this, I know a lot has been shared. A lot of them looks confusing to you guys, right? So that's one of the purposes of today's session, is to make sure that we connect all startups that are part of the KIC fellowship to data analyst interns that we train at Blossom Academy. So what would happen is that I will liaise with Nanakusi, and then we will share a form with you guys directly for you guys, just about less than 5 minutes to fill the form to express your interest in hiring a data analyst intern to come aboard your team. It doesn't matter whether you are now starting, you are in the middle, or you are way up there, right? Our talents are ever ready to help you start your data journey from scratch, or meet you where you are, or just continue from where you are. That's the upper version, is where we get to the machine learning stuff that Victor was speaking about, right? So I think from our end, we are going to end it here. And I could see, I said a call.
Yes, Salom, I'm here.
Yes. So maybe you can wrap up at your end. But then what will also happen is that we are going to share the recording with you guys, as Theresia mentioned in our conversation, and then also attach the form to that. But maybe I'll take the last words from you, and I will take it there since we've spent most of the time that we had planned for the session.
Yes, thank you very much, Salom. Thank you also, Victor, for this amazing workshop. Well, I'm glad you did mention you would open up a session whereby the KIC participants KIC fellows can also, apply, because I mean, Victor was doing some magic on the screen. I was like, wow, there's a whole lot going on which we don't know yet. So I believe this is an amazing opportunity where we can all learn and then incorporate this in our respective businesses. So yes, once again, thank you, and then thank you to all those who joined. Some has left, but then yes, we are hoping they can also try and put in some effort and then participate in this amazing, yeah. So one thing, I was part of Blossom Academy, but then due to some health issues, I had to quickly drop. But then I'm hoping I'll be back again. I hope Salom and then Victor will give me the opportunity to join back again.
We have a number of cohorts opening this year, so we'll share that as part of the engagement to us with your team for them to
Great,
just really
thank you. Thank you very much. So yes, Salom, you can take over.
Sure. A very big thank you to all of you. Once again, as I mentioned, just to reiterate, we'll share a form with you guys for you guys to fill and express your interest in hiring interns from us and then the other programs that we have. Thank you all, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Victor, very big thank you to you as well.
Yes, thanks for listening. Thank you.